Hello and welcome to my brand new channel Pokecardprof. This is my first video. I've been a guy that's been involved with Pokemon since I was about 5 years old. I stopped collecting the Pokemon TCG when I was about 11 years old, and after a long break I started collecting Pokemon cards again around 5 months ago now. I'm still a student, so I work with a limited budget, but as you can see I've built a quite sizable collection. So in this video I want to give you some tips how when you're a student or you have a minimum wage job or you just have low funds, you still can buy some great products and build a nice collection for yourself. When you're a student or someone on minimum wage but you still want to make a great Pokemon collection, one of the best ideas that you can have is to make a monthly budget. If you have a budget of around $100 or $50 a month, that you can spend on Pokemon, you won't have trouble with paying your rent or getting groceries or any other expenses that you might have. So one of the best ideas is when you have a limited budget available, make a budget and stick to that budget. One of the most amazing things of having a Pokemon collection is getting some high ticket items. Like if you have some cool old booster boxes or ETBs or premium collection boxes, those look really nice in your collection, but one of the problems is they are usually quite expensive. But if you have a limited budget every month, like $100 for example, you can save up about 20% of it, so you have $20 every month that you can save up. After a year you will have some money saved up and you can use that to buy a high ticket item, like a cool booster box or a cool ETB or maybe another premium collection box, maybe some cool singles or a graded card. So if you have a limited budget available but still want to have some high ticket items, one of the best things that you can do is to just save up. And if you have the money available, you can buy the high ticket item. One of the most important points that I can make is don't use credit cards or borrow money from friends or family to build a Pokemon collection. Don't go in debt for Pokemon. If you don't have the money available at the time, just save up and wait for a great opportunity that can come around the corner. In the Pokemon world there are a lot of opportunities and deals waiting, so just be patient, save up, and when you have the funds available, then spend it. If you don't have the money in your bank account, just wait, don't go in debt. That's a really important point that I want to make. Collecting Pokemon is an exciting hobby. Unfortunately, there are also some bad actors active. If you want to buy some Pokemon cards, check that if you are buying from a reputable source. One of the best tips that I give is don't buy from Amazon. There are a lot of horror stories of people that bought resealed cards there or even fake products. So don't buy from Amazon and check some reputable sources. In America, one of the best sources is TCG Player or eBay. If you want to buy from eBay, there different storefronts have feedback scores. If an eBay store has a feedback score of 97% or lower, it usually means that they had a lot of negative feedback. And that can mean that people got delivered cards that weren't in the best condition, or maybe they were even fake. So if you want to buy from eBay, check the feedback scores, and if they're higher than 97%, you have a higher likelihood of actually getting the cards that are advertised. So if you have a limited budget, just check your sources, because the cost of getting scams are way higher for you than for someone that has a lot of money to spare. The best feelings in the world is pulling a cool chase card out of a booster pack, especially if you get a cool alt art. But when you're working with a limited budget, you quickly notice how expensive opening booster packs can get. You have the odds about 1 in 201 packs to pull an alt art. That's for example for a set like Lost Origins. So if you calculate that the pack price can be between $3 and $4, you times that to 201, you can quickly notice how expensive it can get to open an alt art. And if you pull it, maybe it's not the card that you want. So if you see a set that has some cool cards and you want to have them in your collection, it's maybe a better idea to just buy those cards outright. If you go to eBay, you can search for sold listings of that card and you can see the prices, and then you consider maybe it's more sensible to just buy the card outright instead of trying to pull it. So my tip is, when you have a limited budget, just buy singles and don't try to pull the cards out of booster packs. Pokemon card collecting can get expensive really fast. So one of the best ideas when you're working on a limited budget is to pick a niche. Maybe your goal is to collect one of each Elite Trainer box in the Sword and Shield era. Or maybe you want to have some singles of a single Pokemon, like, for example, Snorlax is one of my favorite Pokemon, so you want to collect every Snorlax card that was made. So if you pick a monthly budget, you save up, and you can set that small goal, like just collecting every Snorlax card that was made. And then you still have a really cool collection on a limited budget. It isn't a good idea to collect everything. If you just want to collect graded cards, maybe that's a good idea. But then stick to a certain type of card or certain type of era, just to set a goal for yourself and don't overspend. So if you have a limited budget, one of the best ideas is to pick a niche, pick a goal, and work to that goal. And it's a small process to go from a small collection to a great collection over time. And that's okay. You don't have to build a collection overnight. Just take your time and have some fun with it. When you want to invest in Pokemon on a limited budget, one of the best ideas is to just stick to booster boxes or Elite Trainer boxes. Now I will break down how you can best utilize your funds for the best returns in the future. Booster boxes are one of the most sought after items from every set. These boxes contain 36 packs and are really nice to have in your collection. I will now explain the price development of buying a booster box, and for that I will use the example of Unbroken Bonds, one of the best sets of the Sun and Moon era. Unbroken Bonds has a really cool chase card, the Sylveon and the Gardevoir GX. If you bought a booster box of Unbroken Bonds 1 year ago, you would have made about a 13% gain, so that's not shabby at all. And if you bought a booster box way back, you would have made about a 330% gain from MRSP, also known as the manufacturer's retail suggested price. We will now take a look at the Elite Trainer box of Unbroken Bonds. If you would have bought the Elite Trainer box 1 year ago, you would have made about a 15% gain, so that's quite comparable with the buying of one booster box of Unbroken Bonds. But the big difference is, if you have bought an Elite Trainer box way back for $40 or the MRSP, you would have made an 850% gain. So that's huge. So you can notice quite a big difference. Maybe you're wondering to yourself, Unbroken Bonds is a really cool set, but how did sets that weren't as nice perform over time? Well, I have an example for you. Rebel Clash. Rebel Clash is perceived as one of the worst sets of the Sword and Shield era, but still it made quite a great gain. If you compare the booster box prices from 1 year ago, you would have made about a 50% gain, so that's quite comparable with the buying of an Unbroken Bonds booster box. And if you would have bought the booster box for $130, you would have made about a 68% gain, so that's quite a nice return. Now we will look at the Elite Trainer box of Rebel Clash. The design of the Elite Trainer box of Rebel Clash isn't quite as nice as the Unbroken Bonds Elite Trainer box, but still the returns are there. If you would have bought the Elite Trainer box 1 year ago, you would have made about a 29% return, so that's really nice. If you would have bought the Elite Trainer box for $40 way back, you would have made about a 304% gain. So, when you're working with a limited budget, you can ask yourself, I can buy one booster box a month for about $120, maybe $100 if you have a great deal. Or you can buy about 2, 3 or 4 Elite Trainer boxes for the same price. And if you compare that to the returns of a booster box in the future, maybe if you're working with a limited budget, it's a better idea to buy Elite Trainer boxes instead of booster boxes. But still, you will make great returns with buying both. So to sum up, if you want to have a great Pokemon card collection on a limited budget, it's important that you stick to a limited budget, save up money if you want to buy some high ticket items, don't go into debt, pick a niche, buy singles if you want some cool cards, and buy from reputable sources. And one of the best tips that I can give you is invest in Elite Trainer boxes for now if you have a limited budget. You can get about 3 Elite Trainer boxes every month for the price of one booster box. And in that way you can build a sizable collection quite fast. And especially one of the most important tips is just have fun. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have fun in the Pokemon world, so have fun and see you soon. Bye bye.